Afternoon.
Foster, when did y'all become aware of the news about the Tennessee Titans?
I think our yoga instructor told me at like maybe 9:07, I believe.
What was kind of your initial reaction to the news?
I'll say this. We're 2-7. And our head coach got fired today. And I'm going to say that, generally speaking, every single individual in this building has a hand in our record and our performance and why we are what we are. And unfortunately, when you are the head coach and you have the corner office, you are responsible for results. Now, we're in a hole, and every man has had a turn holding the shovel, right? And right now, all we're looking for is a rope and then a bulldozer to try to fill the hole back up so we can start to stand. That's my general synopsis and understanding of the situation that we're in. As to what my emotions or what I felt was coming, I mean, that's fairly irrelevant.
How much do you believe Darren Rizzi is the guy to be able to hold those like this?
For those of you guys who know Riz, he is a unbelievable leader of men. I sit in his special teams meetings every day. I'm not really on too many special teams. You check the snaps, but there's something about him and the way that he coaches, the way that he leads, the way that he demands execution from his players. And we have a fantastic special teams core. And I'm looking forward to seeing the opportunities that he could really show that, I don't know, he kind of has a pretty interesting opportunity.
Foster, have you been through anything like this before, and what kind of change do you think will happen?
Change is a great word. Without change, nothing changes, right? Sounds like coach speak or just random BS, but it's true. I've been a part of 2 interim head coaching situations, and both of them were extremely positive. Coach Ed Ogeron, who went on to win a national championship with LSU starting back in 2016 with the firing of Les Miles, and then back with Coach Gruden when our then special teams coach Rich Bisaccia took over, took the team back to the playoffs and made a pretty good run out of it. Not to say we can't do that here, but what do we have? 8 games left on the schedule. I might be brash or bold or just plain stupid to think that if you could lose 7, you could win 8. That might just be, hopeful player thinking. But I mean, I'm not going to walk into this building expecting anything less from my teammates, expecting anything less from my coaches, because this city deserves winners. This city, I mean, these are tough people, and I'm not going to apologize for swearing, but I should. These are tough, gritty people who've been through a hell of a lot, and they deserve to watch sports teams that can go out there and lay it on the line and come home with wins. And you know what? We're going out there, we're laying a hell of a lot on the line. We're not seeing the results, and that's the bottom line.
Foster, you said that everybody's had a shovel to take this, but how much do you guess do they feel like the final inches was for these guys?
I mean, it didn't. It didn't. I mean, at least personally, it felt like we had a fairly good control on the game. I could really mostly only speak offensively, but it felt like we played well, and we had a chance. And there's just the same shortcomings that we have, like getting points on 2-minute drives. We need to be better doing that. We haven't done that enough. Third down execution, we were 5 of 15, right? We ran the ball for 200 yards and had no turnovers, and that's great. But God, none of it matters if you don't win. And you guys know that. That's why we got a full house today. It's like none of it matters if you don't win. That's the truth.
Who, if anyone, has impressed the team today?
Rizzi,
No front office or ownership or anybody above Rizzi?
no.
Foster, you mentioned obviously with Ed and with Rich, and the situations don't always go well. So is there any kind of through lines, any common threads that you can point to with those teams that led to the positive result?
Accountability, extremely high levels of accountability. No clicking up or secrets in the locker room. That's a big one. Coming in high spirits and embracing change. For me, those are the 4 pillars of what you have to do if you have found yourself in an interim coaching situation. That's it.
What was Darren Rizzi's message to the team?
Accountability? No, seriously, it is pretty much the same thing. Everyone has a hand. Everyone has a hand in the situation we find ourselves in. That's the truth. We're in a hole. Everyone's held the shovel, and it's not going to be anyone outside of the room that is going to let us get out of it. That's the truth.
Foster, to your last point, obviously it's going to be a hell of a week after yesterday, the makings of today, and going on in another divisional opponent this week. Where are you mentally?
10 minutes ago, I was fully submerged in a cold tub. I'm glad you asked. So I'm looking forward to a divisional opponent. The Atlanta Falcons are a good football team. And we know that they are a good football team. They're well coached. They're accountable, and we have a great opportunity to try to get our season back on track with a divisional opponent. And these wins kind of count for 1.5 in terms of divisional speak.
Foster, when you said you heard from your yoga instructor, was that like a team yoga thing here?
I was joking.
Do you have?
I know we do have a yoga instructor.
Okay, so how did you hear then?
I got it. I received a text.
How surprised were you?
I'm not going to answer that question.
I think you clarified that, man. I totally believe you.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. You guys are a tough crowd right now.
You mentioned how the city deserves better. Being from here, do you feel an extra level of accountability, or do you kind of feel what they feel even more than you?
I can't say I feel what they feel. But in terms of accountability, I feel personally responsible 100% every day. If you come into work and you seek and you find joy in your head coach getting fired, shame on you. I can't say the same for a fan. I know we have a bit of a split fan base in that regard. I understand that. I'm in enough group texts. I'm from this city. I see it on social media. I should probably stay off it. It's a shame because I'm going to be honest. Dennis Allen came in here every single day. He was accountable. He worked his ass off. He led players. He did everything that he could. And in the end, results weren't there. And so something had to be done. I love DA. I think he was a good dude, a good defensive play caller. I appreciated the work that he put in. But we're going a different direction, obviously. And I understand that. And if I was in that role, I would expect the same thing.
At what point in the season, I mean, was there a point in the season you feel like change probably needed?
No.
Did you ever recognize a point where sort of the locker room buy-in, energy, belief did change?
No.
Is it important to hear from either ownership or like Ricky or anything like that about?
No. We had one of our best weeks last week. And for those of you guys who were there to see it, at least in the little bits that you guys get, the accountability was high. The culture was awesome. And there was a lot of leadership going around. We put the pads on Wednesday, and we were hitting. We were flying around to the football. The numbers on the GPS that Dr. Ray was showing us were like, yeah, like we're in. We're committed. We were a 2-6 football team, and we're like, we are scratching and clawing to get to 3-6. And I'm sitting here, and it's Monday afternoon, and we're 2-7.
Did you get a chance to talk to DA on before you left?
We did not.
Foster, you mentioned being in a hole. Why do you think it hasn't come together? What do you think's holding this team from achieving that success?
There's a very fine line between reasons and excuses. And right now, I feel like providing you with the answers to that question could come off a lot more like the latter, and that's not something that I'd like to get into, to be honest. There's a multitude of reasons that you could try to explore, but we've lost 7 straight football games, and that's objective. That's not subjective.
But if everything that there is a no, that there's no culture issue, there's no commitment issue, no execution issue, what isn't translating?
We're not winning football games. That's the problem. You can go into a case study about why this isn't happening, but right now we're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.